Everybody, it's Monday afternoon, and you know what time that is. It's time for your weekly episode of SCV Chat. Before we get started, please remember, the views and opinions expressed on this broadcast are not necessarily the views of the SCV, its GEC, any division, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. We are blessed to have the Lieutenant CIC on tonight, the legendary J-Bo.
All right, I don't know about this legend stuff.
I'm hoping everything's coming through clear and dandy. As some of you know, Facebook has not been working well today. The whole website in general is shut down. Let me work on that, Commander. If you are watching, I would suggest going to our YouTube page just in case anything happens on Facebook. We don't know how well Facebook is going to react to our live stream. It took me an hour to post that we're having an episode today, and it took me another hour to post to please go follow us on YouTube just in case anything happens. So if you are watching us on Facebook, just type in SCV Chat in your search bar, and we'll pop up there. But I'm being told we have a bad echo. Let me see what it is. J-Bo, do you have anything you want to talk about while I look into this?
Well, we can talk a little bit about what's going on right now with this. Facebook has a little bit of a problem, and well, what do you know? You have a conglomerate, something that is so big, and it affected Instagram, it's affected TikTok, it's affected so many other apps that it's when something that's big and it has its fingers and everything else, what it does, something goes chaotic, it just takes a lot of stuff down with it. I haven't heard exactly what happened with the Facebook deal. I noticed it happening somewhere around 11 o'clock Central Time today, that things started getting a little, just stopped working. Occasionally would come up, maybe refresh. I'm on Instagram, and it killed Instagram. The feed there hasn't updated since before noon. So it's just one of those chaotic times. This could be an example and also priming us for what some of these people are saying could be happening in our near future. To where, if you are one of those conspiracy theorist people, and there's a lot of people out there like that, and then there's just a few of us that are just we're very suspicious of people. We've been, kind of seen the bad side a time or two. And if you're one of those people, what happens if you lose this social media platform? Well, you can kind of see this. It's just kind of got everything in a mess. I see that Chuck McMichael has got his Echo deal worked out. For some reason, they just have me on here tonight, and I want y'all to know I'm sorry about that. You need Adam Southern on here. You need Matt Singleton. We don't need George Connor Bond. Nobody needs a George Connor Bond.
I think no one's coming on. The last time I hosted an episode of SCV Chat, most of you won't remember. Connor got COVID early on in our history on SCV Chat. We were on that other platform. And so he left me to host one night. Apparently, I was just awful. And so Connor made a vow to never let me host again, but it's out of his hands tonight, so I'm hosting. There you go. I love hating on GCB. GCB, that's basically me and his whole friendship. Me and him became friends about 3 years ago now, right before his first term as division commander. And he sucked me down the rabbit hole. I tell people, I asked for just, hey, let's get a slow start. I want to be really involved in the SCV. And then all of a sudden, I'm on SCV chat. I'm producing an awesome show that, I love doing day in and day out. But, to go on, to piggyback off J-Bo, that's the reason we have multiple platforms here.
Yeah.
We mainly use our Facebook because it's kind of our best weapon. It's our best platform. A lot of, I guess I could compare us to them, a lot of YouTubers that make their career off doing videos such like this, they have multiple platforms just in case something like this happens, but they always have one platform that's, better than most when it comes to views, comes to people interacting. So, that's Facebook for us. Facebook has been very blessing for us ever since we switched. We've had huge numbers, and we talked recently on the chat how we reached our goal of reaching over 100,000 people, and we're only going up from there. Our numbers are breaking new records every day for us, so it truly is a blessing. I'm noticing that for some reason it says when we have 3 people watching, but we have like 30. I'm guessing that's on Facebook. I'm not getting y'all's comments on Facebook, but I am. I always have multiple screens showing me what is happening, so I can see your comments on the Facebook app. But again, SCV Chat does have plans to combat this in the future. We have YouTube as one of our backups. We have an Instagram. We have Facebook, and hopefully sooner or later we will get that website up that we always talked about doing. But of course, that one costs money. So that's a little fun tip for you. But that's the future, and yeah, that's one of the worrisome things is Facebook owns Instagram. So if Facebook is down, Instagram is down. And that's why we've had trouble contacting y'all today and talking about the fact that Facebook has been down since around 11 when I got into class. I got off Facebook, and when I got out around 3-ish, I looked down and I was like, it's not working. And I was trying to publish the episode telling everybody. Everybody's telling me Facebook is working fine. That is great. But again, if we do have any of these issues in the future, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube. That's going to be our streaming backup for now until we get our future plans in place and we have time to work them out, make sure we do it good, because there are ways to do it awful. And so go subscribe to our YouTube. Just type in SCV Chat on the YouTube search bar and we'll pull up. And there's not a lot of stuff on there because we rarely use it. It does have a lot of our first episodes on there from when we were on the different platform before they banned Confederate flags. So again, be subscribing. Try to stay in touch with us the best way you can. We don't really publicize enough, but we do have a Instagram. So please go support us on Instagram, and support us any way you can. But into the thing for tonight, I felt bad inviting a guest on, and they prepared this long topic on history. We have a format now. It's history episode, a culture episode, a book review, and Hearth and Home. Well, we had a history guest ready, but I felt awful inviting this person on, not knowing if I was going to be able to pull this off. But here we are right now live, so we're going to turn this into a nice trivia night where I asked the lieutenant commander and y'all questions. And I'll give you guys a couple minutes to respond. I got about 30 questions. Hopefully that will take us through the night. If not, I'm happy to take questions from the audience pertaining on the war between the states knowledge. Ironically, since going to college, I would say my knowledge has been dulled significantly. So I'll leave the answering to the glorious J-Bo and see how that goes from there. But again, thank you guys all for coming on. Thank you guys for being on Facebook and on YouTube right now. Again, if you haven't already, I can't stress this enough for future issues, because we don't know if this is going to be fixed before Look Around the Confederation. And we have a great episode for Look Around the Confederation this week. We're going to be talking about fall muster and Beauvoir and the event that it is, and it's going to be awesome. So I cannot wait for that Thursday episode, but I don't know if we're going to be able to post and tell you about it. So remember, Look Around the Confederations is at 7 on Thursdays, and so will probably be on YouTube as well, just in case this issue is recurring, and hopefully on Facebook as well, so our mass audience will get it. But with that, I'll go ahead and get started. And I have a very special commercial picked for this evening because Connor never lets me play it. So I'm going to play Connor's commercial later because I know he can't watch right now because he's at work. But again, I got a couple questions for y'all. If you remember this one, you'll remember I was put in charge of trivia when we did trivia every week, and I got that option automatically stripped away from me, that responsibility, because I picked the worst trivia question ever, apparently, to Connor. So I'm going to be asking that as one of the questions here, just an easy warm-up. I don't think anyone will not know the answer to this, but, I have some curveballs in here, so hopefully I'll get some of y'all. All right, so the first question for tonight is, what was the name of Robert E. Lee's horse during the war between the states? J-Bo was on the episode. Yeah. J-Bo was on the episode when I asked that.
Yeah.
I remember everybody's face just being like, really? I'm a big Robert E. Lee fan, and that was the best I was able to come up with when I was able to pick Robert E. Lee trivia. I even got a lot of people are spamming the chat with Traveler. But yeah, the answer to that question is Traveler. Let me check on YouTube. All right, yeah, Traveler. All right, yeah, that was the first answer. I had to because taking a jab at myself for that. But here is the next question, and I'll give y'all options, and that's how we're going to try to do this. We're going to hope for the best. Again, I didn't know that I was going to have to be coming up with trivia questions. So, I opened up books. I ran across the internet. I was trying my hardest just to find anything I could do for tonight. So, we'll see how this goes. But, here's the first question. What Native American tribes aligned with the Confederacy during the war? For your options, you have the Cherokee, the Creek, or the Choctaw.
Cherokee.
The commander says Cherokee. What about everybody else? Someone said too easy. Well, hopefully I'll get to some crazy ones soon. But we're going to start them off easy and hopefully go into hard.
Actually, if that's kind of a misleading question, and Jimmy Hill has it right. There were so many of the Native American tribes that joined the Confederate States Army. Cherokees are the ones that are known the most because of Stan Waddy and the Cherokee Braves. But there's multiple ones that fought. Yes,
the Commander Jimmy is right. It was all of them. I told you I was going to throw a couple of them questions in there where it could either be all of them or none of them. So, I'm having fun with it. But, there was a lot of tribes that did join. Those
yes.
were the options that I was given. So that's what we were doing there. Victor, let's see here. Victor says the Seminoles are also in there. I might have missed a couple. I was rushing, and I don't. If I showed you my room downstairs out of my office, you would just see books scattered everywhere. And if you could go through my phone for the past 2 hours, it was just typing in Confederate trivia and looking for stuff at different websites. But yes, you are correct, Commander. And for some reason, on my screen, I can only pull up comments from YouTube. I don't know why that's happening. It's never happened before when we streamed on both sites, but I do have Facebook pulled up so I can see y'all's responses, so don't worry about me not being able to see anything. All right, the second one, and this is another easy one. I bet everybody knows this. What was the first state to secede from the Union?
Okay, who's chiming in with answers?
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
We got one. We got two.
All right, South Carolina.
South Carolina is correct. South Carolina was the first, followed by the great state of Mississippi. And I will always tell people that because I am proud that Mississippi was the second. Okay, I'm getting some stuff from Facebook now. That's awesome. Great. I don't know how I fix that issue. We're just going to wing it and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I see people are getting on. Things must be starting to work a little bit.
All right, that's good. I don't know how good Facebook is. StreamYard gave me a report because that's our streaming platform. We stream onto Facebook using StreamYard. And they said Facebook contacted them and said that they don't know how long they're going to be down for. It could be days. So the fact that we're getting a little blessing right now to do this is awesome. And I'm excited for that. But the next, let's see here. I already did that one. All right, what battle in the war between the states had the most casualties? And for bonus points, how many casualties were there?
Are people starting to chime in?
Some people are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. Y'all need another minute? All right. We got one from the legend, Mr. Chuck. Commander Chuck was nice to be on the last episode to look around the Confederation. All right. The answer was Gettysburg. Gettysburg had the most casualties in total. I'm told from what I grabbed from a book very hastily, it was around 51,000 casualties, maybe 53,000 in total. I think that's what someone said. Someone said, Jason said Gettysburg and 53,000 in total. So let's all get up for Jason for giving the number because I could not tell you that until I Googled it as a bonus question. So congrats.
Yeah. Gettysburg was the total battle, but the 1 day total. Sometimes with these trivia questions, they hang you up with the question. Yes.
Commander
Don Green's even talking about that. Yeah.
Yes, I do have a lot of trick questions in store. We
have
one legend in the chat. Definitely not GCB, so shocked he's here.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, good. We're experiencing some lovely difficulties on and off. So, I'm just checking at this point.
Things have to be bad because they let me back on. So things are bad. So
it's bad because I'm hosting the show.
Yeah. So
Connor hasn't let me host the show since his COVID debacle.
Yeah.
Since Don Rickles Jr. showed up.
Hey, ask J-Bo. Ask J-Bo. Have I been good tonight, J-Bo? Ask our chat heads. Have I been a good host tonight?
I don't believe him.
Define good. I'm going to be one of your trivia questions. We're going to ask for a definition of good. Yeah.
Did he at least do the disclaimer right?
He did do the disclaimer, yes.
That's the only thing I got right when I did host the show. And see, Casey says I have done great. James says I'm making it. I'm hobbling in on one leg as the host.
Yeah. I just wanted to come on and say hey to you boys. I'm still stuck at work. Oh, sorry. That 4-letter word of I'm not allowed to say on here.
Yeah.
Just wanted to spread my love.
I'm trying to figure out that gold chain around your neck.
Oh, that is my key lanyard.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's an important man.
It's
I thought you had maybe a curtain rod or something, or that thing to hold the curtains back going around your neck. I couldn't tell what it was. Oh, okay. Well, and at least you had a decent Saturday for once.
No, I had to do that 4-letter word. I didn't even get to watch the game.
Okay. Okay.
The only time they do decent, you can't watch it.
Yeah, I know, man. Maybe that's a sign.
Yeah.
They're bad luck charm. That's the reason y'all have had so many rebuilding seasons.
And we'll have another one and another one and another. They, in my defense, they've been rebuilding a lot longer than I've been a fan.
No, fair enough.
I've ever since I've known them, they've been rebuilding. Yeah.
I just want to point out, like my own father just compared me hosting the show to anything but a complete train wreck.
Well, you know, that is our defined definition for good now.
I mean,
it is now defined. Forest Dawes has defined good for us. So from now on, it's anything but a train wreck.
it's not like we've set the bar really high on hosting standards here. So
I mean, you are the host usually, so
that's
you're right.
That's what I'm saying. You know, we haven't really defined set the bar that high.
Well, you got me on the show again, and y'all thrown me off twice, and now you got me back on again.
We never threw you off.
You just told me not to show up.
I didn't.
I don't think it was worded quite like that. In fact, I'm pretty sure it wasn't worded like that.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was just messing with you, Connor. I was just messing with you. I tell you, I was on there for quite a while, especially when Matt was having his neck surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw where y'all guys were going with it, and y'all have done such a great job with this that I've just, let y'all run with it. When we first started doing this, we thought, hey, I'm here, I'll help get this thing going. But y'all have done such a great job with it. I just let y'all handle it, and y'all have had some great episodes.
We are knocking on 130,000 reaches right now since I think the last time when I set the date parameters was December 1st through October 1st, and it was like at over 120,000.
Yeah,
which is really, really, that's surpassed what we were even shooting for within the first year.
Oh yeah.
And this is to y'all's credit, and that's the reason why, it's y'all needed to run with it. Y'all were coming up with this scheduling. I liked what you were doing. Y'all have been great at it, and I want y'all to keep it up. And thank y'all. Anytime you want me on here, I'm always willing to come on. But this is y'all's show, and I thank y'all for doing it.
I just want to point out, while we're having this great moment of achievement, reaching 130,000 people, the chat heads are having a discussion about how low the bar is for hostship.
Yeah, really. No.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Love y'all too.
Yeah. Well, you really.
I was gonna say it's not us that have done anything. It's honestly the chat heads out there.
Yeah.
Because it's you guys that are watching, you guys that are sharing everything. You guys that have and want to support us, we wouldn't do it without y'all.
No, we couldn't, and it's to them. Everybody's contributed and been part of this. I appreciate them. It's been a great thing. I think this has been the best thing that we have used as far as getting out our message, and the message and the information you get are extremely current. So. That I don't know how else to get our information out there any quicker. Sometimes we've talked about stuff on here that we didn't know till maybe 30 minutes before we came on air. And, and it was we were okay. Look, hey, I just got a call from somebody, and this is gonna happen. So. And I think and I was just kidding about y'all throwing me off. I needed to get off of it because I'd been on it a bunch, and I needed to let y'all do your thing. Yeah, I needed y'all to do your thing because y'all have done a great job, and I'm proud of you. And I'm gonna give you crap, but I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Commander.
Thank you. Well, we wouldn't have wanted any other way because we off screen and on screen give you crap too.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I just hope that I just hope Carl has his gift ready for you by the GEC meeting.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I'm getting a gift from Carl. Okay.
That was his game plan when last we spoke.
Okay. All right. Because I've already been chased around by a T-Rex with a Santa outfit on.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah. He must have to go back to work.
Oh yeah. Bless his heart. He tried so hard.
Yep. But okay, here's a trivia question.
Oh gosh.
The Forest Equestrian statue, since we were talking horses, the Forest Equestrian statue, what horse is he riding on the Forest Equestrian statue?
That actually leads into a couple questions I had. Yeah, which horse is he riding in the famous statue? Actually,
Okay. All right, so that one you've already got. Okay.
Oh no,
right.
I have it, but I also have a couple follow-up questions following that. So let's go ahead and do that.
All right. All right. Chuck McMichael is correct. King Philip.
Let's see here. All right. Yep.
King Philip.
King Philip. All right. That goes into the next question very perfectly. How many horses were shot under? Wait, let's see here. How many horses did the General Nathan Bedford Forrest get shot out from under him during the war?
Okay, let's name one. Everybody has to name one.
King Philip?
No, King Philip survived it. How about Roderick? How about Roderick got shot out from under him at Thompson Station? 31 is the number I have heard is 31.
I've got two numbers here that are correct, apparently.
Okay.
I have 30 and 31. Both under here is correct. So I don't understand what that logic was, but I'll take it.
Okay.
But yes, 30 horses or 31 horses were shot out from underneath poor General Forrest.
Yep.
A lot.
A lot.
Well, General Forrest did lead. Usually he ran into battle along with his men. So I think he had the most horses shot out from under him too. So, he had.
I don't think anybody else much come close to that number of 30, 31. I don't know anybody much that come to that. The only one that comes to mind is Patrick Claiborne at Franklin, where he had two horses shot out from under him in just a couple of moments. So, that would probably be the only thing as bad as that.
The next question is, which was his favorite horse?
Well, he was partial to Roderick, and he was partial to King Philip. They said Roderick used to follow him around in camp, and when they were in and having their meetings and talking, that Roderick would walk around behind him. So I'm going to go with a toss-up between Roderick and King Philip.
All right. It was, it's said to be King Philip, but, again, a lot of people say Roderick as well. And again, I think he had a deep connection with both those horses. As someone who, I am blessed to live on a farm and, have animals. I love my horses. I love my dogs. It saddens me that my dog can't be up here right now because, bless her heart, she's gone into heat for the first time. And she's just bleeding all over the place, bless her heart. So she had to stay downstairs for this episode. So Commander Gremlin says it wasn't healthy to be one of Forrest's horses. Jabo, somehow your mic got muted.
Yeah, the only thing that was worse than being one of Forrest's horse was him to be in pursuit of you. Yeah, you can talk to Abel straight about that.
TMI.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is in contrast to my poor Allie,
Yeah.
my poor dog,
Yeah.
downstairs suffering in her kennel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
see, with this going on, see, I go through StreamYard. I don't go through Facebook. I go through StreamYard to get it. So I'm not hardly seeing anybody at all pop up here in the chat. So it's not completely back going yet, but we're starting to see some stuff.
yeah, I believe it's because Facebook is iffy because StreamYard communicates with Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
So, like when we get these comments, it's depending on how Facebook is operating, not StreamYard.
Yeah.
StreamYard is perfect. I love it. I'm so glad we made the switch to
Yeah.
this. But you know, you know, that's one of the issues is sometimes not StreamYard, but Facebook will mess up, and that's what we're having here. Sometimes your questions are popping up at StreamYard, which is normally what we use to see y'all's questions. I have Facebook and StreamYard and YouTube pulled up on my computer, and so I can see everything. All right. So we had Commander Green has a question for us. He calls it a train wreck of a question. I'm ready for this. If you have any questions, just say you have one, and you know either I will comment as myself on the page or comment as SCV chat, and you just go ahead and ask. So we're just having a good time here tonight.
Yeah. Now, Sean McFall asked a question. I have a question. What was General Forrest's bodyguard's name? He had so many of them throughout the most. Most of them were just simply called his escort. There's a few of them that are buried here in Middle Tennessee, and they were at various points. Part of those that stood over him, stood guard while he slept at night. But most of the time they were just called part of S. Yes. And Lewis Nelson, that name I don't know, but he had a bunch of them throughout those 4 years.
Okay. We have a question here. Name 2 train wrecks in neighboring states. I could say a political one in response to today's times, but I'm sure that's not what you're meaning. I can't name of any train wrecks off the top of my head.
Train wrecks in neighboring states. Name 2 train wrecks in neighboring states.
That
I'm kind of a loss. He's got me on that.
You got us, Commander. So if you want to go ahead and shoot us the answer, I'll be more than happy to take it.
Yeah.
Jason's question is, let's see here. What city changed 72 times during the
war? I would say it would probably be did you say what city changed hands 72 times during the war? It would not have been a major city, I don't think. It would probably have to be something in the southern part of Tennessee or the northern part of Alabama, Georgia area. Winchester, Tullahoma. Was the only thing I'm thinking of. The Atlanta campaign. I could be completely off on that.
I've got no idea either. As I said, college has probably made me stupider when it comes to the knowledge that my father spent so much time putting in my head for him to send me off to college, pay for it, and me get dumber. We have the answer to the 2 train questions. Chuck River in Mississippi, and wow, what a word, in Louisiana.
Ponchatoula.
You take that ball and run, Lieutenant.
Just guessing because I've been talking to those boys a bunch. Yeah. Yeah. Now, see, that's all this little trivia that's part of that is it's really kind of cool.
I love trivia questions that, you know.
And I was thinking about here in Tennessee, but probably it's going to be some city in Virginia that where there was several of those cities they fought. So many towns they fought over. I bet it's going to be a town in Virginia that's 72.
But
Whoever asked the question, let us know.
Jason gave us mercy.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Winchester, Virginia. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Jason. I love questions that are smaller in nature. Really, like I didn't know about those 2 train wrecks that happened.
No, I learned something tonight.
Now,
yeah.
But it's not always asking, the big questions like, what was this about Robert E. Lee? And I have a whole section on Robert E. Lee questions. I'm a big Robert E. Lee geek, so I have a good bit of knowledge on Robert, on the general. So I have a couple questions for him towards the end. But I love seeing knowledge like that because that's not knowledge that everyone has.
Oh, the train wrecks! I've never even thought of that. That's really kind of cool.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
There's so much more knowledge than so a lot of people, for instance, and J-Bo knows this because he loves talking about it. Gettysburg. A lot of people focus on Gettysburg, but there's some small battles that not a lot of people know anything about, or like just standard trivia about the war and the times. And I love stuff like that because history is not just studying the majors; it's studying the minors and everything in between, and finding any knowledge and all knowledge you can. So I love it. I love it. Let's see here. What'd you say, Commander Jimmy? By the way, if you're on YouTube, if you say a bad word, usually YouTube will automatically delete it. There's nothing I can do about that. So if you say anything, and I'm not saying Commander Jimmy said a bad word, I'm saying he could have said anything and YouTube would retract it because YouTube does not let me control the moderator settings on it sometimes. Okay. Commander Green does a presentation on Chunky River. I'm probably not saying that right. And I would love to hear that. I would definitely love to hear that. Commander, I might have to bring you on another episode and we talk about it.
Yeah, do that.
Commander Green will be on this episode's Look Around the Confederation talking about fall muster at Beauvoir, and I cannot wait for that episode because I've never been to fall muster. And as it's been getting closer, I've been really looking forward to it, and I can't wait. So
it's nice. I was there last year. I'll be there this year. I'm looking forward to it. It's Beauvoir's cool. Beauvoir's just a great place, and we're blessed with Beauvoir.
Oh yeah, complete blessed. I could mess with you, J-Bo. I have a trivia question.
Everybody else messes with me.
Only you would know the answer to.
Oh, that's tragic. Okay. Am I missing the question?
Oh, it's about to pop up.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I will never forget what my adopted son and his running buddy, the younger, uglier Adam Southern, said to me in a hall when I was down there in Mississippi about to give a talk. It was
J-Bond. You're James Bond now.
Oh, okay.
I was talking in like 20 minutes, and the story is me and Connor spent the whole car ride to the camp meeting talking about ways to mess with J-Bo. And I will not repeat what Connor said, but Connor already said something that completely confused the commander, and you could see the look on J-Bo's face of like pure confusion and concern at the same time.
Yeah.
Connor,
it is. It was just a tragic deal. But yeah, I do have a secret son. Yes.
And
I do have a secret son.
the funnier of the joke is the fact that I'm a bit taller than J-Bo. And so I go up to J-Bo, and, he's just in this mass confusion. And I go up to J-Bo, and I'm like, "Are you my dad?" And these two questions that me and GCB asked J-Bo happened within 5 seconds of each other. So,
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as Connor said what he was going to say to J-Bo, and it was interesting. And I go up right behind him, and I just look, "Are you my dad?"
Mm-hmm.
J-Bo just walks away. I don't think he knew what to say on that moment. He was speaking in 20 minutes, and he had to get his thoughts collected. But
Well, no, it was a dad. As they had rung the dinner bell, and we were going to eat before we had to talk. And I could either eat or listen to y'all boys' nonsense. So I chose to eat.
so the story of this is J-Bo is my secret dad in the SCV.
Yeah.
Because it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
The next trivia question is what percentage of the population of the United States of America died in the Civil War?
Oh, that I don't know. Are you talking both and south, north and south?
Yeah. I meant to say both sides. What percentage of both sides in total died in the war? And the options, I'll give you all options, is 14%, 36%, 5%, or 2%. Now, please remember, the United States of America was not as big as it is now. And so back then, the big numbers were a lot smaller than they were now. So don't overshoot it.
Mm.
Not enough Yankees. I agree, Commander. Not enough.
Yeah, I've been saying we've been going nearly 45 minutes. Do you want to play your video, your commercial?
Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and do this, and we're going strong. We'll go for a couple more minutes. This is not going to be a super long episode tonight, but we got a couple questions, and luckily y'all have asked so many great questions. I haven't even ran through half of my list, so that's good. But let's see here. Mr. Jim had it right. He was the first one to have it right. In total, 2% of the country's population sadly passed away during the war. It was, in total, I'm seeing on my screen, 620,000 lives lost. I'm including everyone. Yes, sir. That's the total I've gotten. Again, I rushed on all this, so if I do have something wrong, forgive me. And we all know sometimes some books go back and forth on information. So, that's just the best I could get. Now, tonight's commercial is a special thing because he never allows me to play it. And so I would like to show all y'all Connor's Face of the SCV video. So we'll be back in a second after the break.
I got involved in the SCV because I was essentially born into the organization. My father was a camp commander when I was at a very young age. It is my birthright. My ancestors fought and bled and died. Because of their sacrifice, it gives me not only the eligibility to join, but it's my duty to join the organization. Their blood flows through my veins. Their struggles and triumphs are what made my family what it was, and in a sense made me who I am today. We're to defend the Confederate soldier's good name, that he fought for a noble cause, that he fought for his home, his wife, his children, and his descendants. We're to guard his history, which to me, it's the monuments, it's the headstones, as well as the actual written history of what happened during that war. If we don't pay attention to that history, we're gonna be doomed to repeat it. We're not just some history club. We are a fraternal organization who is essentially the last guardians whose duty it is to defend American and Southern history.
I'm Connor Bond, and I'm a descendant of Captain Nathan W. Slay, a Confederate veteran.
It seems that our screens are off.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can't see you, but I can hear you.
How about that? There you go.
There you go. There you go. That's always a good one at GCB. That's always a good one.
I mess with him because the highest viewed video on my SCV page is his, and he hates it. I mess with him. I told him I made him famous. Let's see here. I think Commander Green told us the casualties were closer to 700,000.
Oh yeah, that always gets amended every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But
and that's just the ones that died during. By the time you start talking the casualties and the sickness, and within a handful of years, I think they're giving it by 66, early part of 67, something like 1.2, 1.3 million.
Yeah, I think it's always going to fluctuate. I think they're always going to try to downplay it too. I think, a lot of historians today try to make it not seem like a big deal, but in fact, it is a big event that still affects the country today and affects all of us. I mean, here we are today in 2021, remembering our ancestors that fought in a war from 1860 to 1865.
Yeah.
And so obviously it's had a great impact on us. I will always remember my ancestors, and I always will fight for my ancestors. I have a great deal of respect for them for fighting for their homeland when, it probably wasn't looking too good sometimes. They had to have some of the toughest skin ever, and I have great respect for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw the thing you had up there from Don Green. I assume he's talking about our faces.
Yeah, we popped back.
Only mothers could love. Yeah, but they probably didn't like them. They might have loved them, but they didn't like them. It's yeah. I'll let y'all know of something that I saw today. If you don't mind, we'll go back to something happened a couple of weeks ago with the forestry interment. We had a videographer that was there. He did some screen grabs and some all that, and sent a few of us about 10 of those pictures. It's all starting to kind of come around and to start take place. It's going to end up. Don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but that would be a real gift, and I'm kind of hoping to shoot for those kind of days. Thanksgiving, Christmas, I think we're actually going to get it, but it looks good. Looks good.
I can't wait. I had the distinguished honor of escorting, and I probably talked about this because all my friends are tired of me talking about it because I was very happy about it. So when I told everybody, or after the reinterment, I kind of texted a couple of my friends like, dude, you're not going to believe what happened. And none of them are in the SCV. It's not because they dislike the SCV. I know a couple of them have battle flags, but they're just not in the organization.
No.
Dude, I just escorted General Nathan Bedford Forrest to his final resting place.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked for a bit about it, and I think now they're sick of it because I keep bringing it up. Because I talked about it on my Facebook page how it's one of the greatest moments ever. I mean, there's a few things I have accomplished in my short life and had the honor to do in my short life, but that will definitely always rank up there. And I can't wait to get the video because I'm going to show off that video like it's a national treasure.
Most of the screen grabs were things that happened at the Forest Boyhood Home, but I think to actually get some impact of a few things, he went to some of them, just a couple of them were the artillery firing on Saturday. But most other things were things that were happening at the Forest Boyhood Home. As this thing becomes and starts being more and more finished, he'll be sending other stuff. I might send y'all a couple of those pictures if y'all want to put them on there for around the Confederation on Thursday night. That might be a good thing for y'all to share. I really like what Jamie has done. He did the videos for Larry McClooney. He did the one for me, the Hearth and Home. I've got another one in the works right now that as soon as he finishes this one, he's going to start for me. And it is he is grabbing faces. And he's grabbing, because this was an extremely emotional event for a lot of people. And there's one of the screen grabs, and I'm not going to embarrass the fella by sending that one out. But he's at the Forest Boyhood Home, and he's in his Confederate uniform, and he is standing beside his horse, and he looks like he's about to cry. He had that look. He fighting it. He was fighting it. And he did and that's what he did. I think he's going to do a great job of is actually been able to tell the story by the reaction and people's faces and the look in their eyes. And I'm looking forward to it. I just thought I'd tell y'all about that. While that video was playing with Connor, I thought, well, I had that today. So as far as I'll send y'all some for Thursday. Y'all just remind me, and I'll send you some.
Fine. We like getting any news on Look Around the Confederation. I think a lot of people that are avid people that send me stuff for me to put on there. And again, I can't wait till this Thursday because we have a great guest lined up and a great topic. So again, I can't wait for that. But with something messing up on my screen, I just noticed Commander Jimmy asked us a question. Who was the engineer of Texas that chased down the general in April of 1862? I'll let that one be the next question.
Okay. Oh Lord, I haven't thought about that. Well, the Great Locomotive Chase is the movie that he's referring to, and he's referring to the general and his run. I can't think of that. I can't think of his name. Not going to be able to.
Commander Jimmy, when you can mess up a legend, make a legend stumble, that's impressive, sir.
Yeah. That's one of those things that I've heard it, but it's not going to come to me. Sometimes that stuff's there and you can recall it. Mm-hmm. That thing's long gone.
But to piggyback what Casey said, it's definitely one of the proudest moments in my life, seeing history made, a legend being laid to rest, and someone with the legendary status who served his country with honor and respect like General Forrest. It was an emotional moment for me, and I don't get emotional about a lot of things, but I mean I was choked up for multiple days afterwards just thinking about the whole thing. I've never been more honored to attend an event and represent, I feel like, my ancestors who fought underneath them. But Commander Jimmy says the name was Peter.
Peter Bracken?
Yes, sir. Peter Bracken.
And he was a general? Oh, he was the engineer that was chasing the general. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he was an engineer. Okay. No, I never would have come up with that. Way to go, Jimmy Hill.
Some of y'all coming up with some great questions. My next question, and of course, I'm gonna play the Connor video again probably at some point. Not tonight, but I love doing it whenever Connor's not here because I know it makes him mad first off, but then again, Connor does have a great video and a great message out there, and so I love playing it. He just doesn't like me playing it. All right. So, next question. Who was the only United States president to serve in the Confederacy? He's also the only U.S. president to have a different flag than the American flag draped over his casket.
I want to see somebody else answer that one. That is a good trivia question. That really is, because you have to know a little bit about your history on both sides.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I loved it, because I didn't know that he hit the flag that he had draped over his casket was one of the three national flags. I think it was the second national, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the third.
No, I was thinking Tyler. Tyler had the second national draped over his, didn't he?
I couldn't remember. I think it was the second national. Now that you say that, because I remember seeing a picture of it. But yeah,
I wasn't there. I would have seen a picture of it. Yeah, John Tyler. Yeah, and I think it was the second national that was draped over it.
Yeah. John Tyler served in the Confederate Army, and he was the only American president in our history that was that had a different nation's flag draped over his casket at a funeral. And again, I do stress another nation, because unlike a lot of my history professors who disagree otherwise, that the South completely did succeed in forming another government. It baffles me that some people don't acknowledge that, but they don't. But that's a fun trivia question that I love.
Yep, they did.
Let's see here. All right, I told you I'm a big Robert E. Lee geek. I have maybe 20 Robert E. Lee books. Let's see here. Mr. Turner, I don't know if there's a reenactment of the Battle of Perryville, but I would hope that if someone has that knowledge, they would post it in the chat for me. Again, if you have a reenactment event, any division or camp projects, please email me. If you send it as a comment, it's only going to get maybe 2 minutes of spotlight. And I'll point it out to the best of my ability, but it still will probably not get pointed out very well. So if you have one of these events, please email us at scvyouthOutreach@gmail.com. But here's the next question. As I said, I'm a big Robert E. Lee fan. And this is something that I discovered recently. Robert E. Lee had a pet with him during the war. What type of pet did he have? Did he have a dog, an eagle, a turtle, or a chicken?
Yep, I'm gonna be at fall muster.
I'm really looking forward to it. Again, I've never been to one. I've wanted to be at one for the past couple of years, but I had a previous job, and I still have the job, but I won't have any need to fight for this tradition this upcoming weekend. But I fight for a lot of traditions here at New Miss, and it's something I take great pride in the past 4 years that I have fought for. And so, I was never able to go because I always fell on a home game. And so I was out there in the Grove preserving this Ole Miss tradition. So I never got a chance to go. So I'm so happy this year I'm able to go, and I will be going. But most of you guessed it. Let's see. Who was the first to guess? I get it. All right, Kevin. All right. So yes, Robert E. Lee had a pet chicken that he had during the war, and let me see if I can give you any other trivia during it. One of his commands, the Confederate forces carried and traveled with a pet chicken, and reportedly laid an egg in General Lee's cot every morning, thus providing General his breakfast every day.
Wow.
So that's one of those that I didn't figure out until I met Connor, and me and Connor on our long car rides to SCV events will start talking about some of the most random stuff imaginable to man. And he came up with, did you know Robert E. Lee had a pet? I was like, no, what was his pet? He's like, what do you think it was? Dog? A cat maybe? I was like, well, are you sure that you're just not thinking of his horse? The Traveler? I know they look, mighty highly upon horses, and so do I. So I was like, would he consider it a pet? He's like, no. The great General Robert E. Lee had a pet chicken. And I was like, did not know that whatsoever.
Okay. Now, if we really want to get into some heavier trivia, was it a rooster or was it a hen? And what was the name?
Do you know the name?
No, I don't. I mean, there's these, if people know that, maybe somebody knows. Because I know of a rooster by the name of Jake Donaldson that was with the First Tennessee. No joke. I know where he's buried over near Cornersville, Tennessee. Jake Donaldson. He's got a marker and the whole deal.
Commander Chuck.
Henrietta a hen.
He says that.
Thank you. That is awesome. See, now that's the trivia I want to know. It's like the horse, the rider, the riderless horse. 21-year-old Lucy. I mean, that's what she was going to. What's her name? Lucy. Because to me, that's just little pieces of that end up telling this whole story. And I never knew Henrietta. That's wonderful. Thank y'all. Now Jimmy Hill saying its name is Nellie. Oh, Chuck McMichael saying he made it up. Okay.
Commander, I believed you, man. That hurt.
That's called shenanigans.
Yeah, that's
called shenanigans. We have been taken.
I bought that hook, line, and sinker that
General I did too.
Had a pet named Henrietta.
Yeah, Henrietta the hen. I go, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Nellie.
Nilly, yeah. James says the hen's name was Nilly.
Okay.
That is wow. He also said in the YouTube group chat that his name was Neely. Okay, Commander Jimmy. Wow, that is.
Yeah. Now you know about Nellie and Jake Donaldson.
He said that they ate the chicken before the Battle of the Wilderness.
Okay.
I mean, food is food, man. War is war.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to ask 2 questions. Again, I've kind of skipped to the end. I had a lot of Robert E. Lee questions, and so I have a good couple here. Robert E. Lee's father served in what war? What was his name, his nickname, and who did he fight with?
Well, he fought in the Revolutionary War, and he was Lighthouse Harry Lee.
Mm-hmm. I just read a book on him.
Yep.
So I thought it'd be important to draw that in there. I have who they say on this, who he fought with, but apparently he fought with a certain general a good bit.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Of course, Washington's going to come to mind. So that's who I would have to go with.
You are correct. He fought under General George Washington.
Yep.
And that goes into, a question I have later, which probably everybody already knows, but I threw it in there, and it shows kind of I'll go ahead and say it. I think we all know that the general's wife was related to General Washington. And so that always, astounded me that, these 2 great men, both men of Virginia, both probably 2 of the greatest people that the United States has created and produced. And these two families are kind of connected heavily.
Yeah.
I always loved that.
Yes.
What's the other? Why? Robert E. Lee was at West Point. At what rank did he graduate? And what did they call him while he was at West Point?
He was the marble model. He was
his
the
nickname.
model, and he did not have any, because he did not have any demerits. Now, his rank when he come out, I'm a goose egg on that.
Now, this is just his class rank. This is not like his military rank. Like, what did he graduate as?
Oh, he was first in his class. He was first in his class. I thought you meant he come out with the rank.
No, sir.
No.
Yeah. Mr. Commander Chuck is right. General Washington didn't, if I'm not mistaken, did not have any of his own biological kids. He adopted, and so she is the adopted granddaughter of George Washington. And I got to mess with you a bit, J-Bo.
He wasn't first.
He wasn't first. He was second. He was second in his class.
Okay.
That's like I for the longest time I thought he was first until I was looking at these trivia questions.
I'd be curious as who was first.
Does anyone know who was first in his graduating class? Because that's a great question. Who did better than General Lee? That's a great question. But also shows how great a person Lee was, and also shows that the man and the stature he is, not a single demerit, and that has not been accomplished since then, if I'm not mistaken. He's the only person to graduate without a single demerit. Again, it proves the character of General Lee and how great of a man he was, and was already at that time. And he only became a greater man as time went on.
Yeah. He really knew how to control his passions, is all I can say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We did talk about General Lee's father, Henry Lee III, if I'm not mistaken, is his name. After the Revolutionary War, what position did he serve? He got elected to an office. What position was that? What office did he hold?
Was he ever governor of Virginia? That I don't know. That would be a guess. That would be a guess.
Commander Jimmy says Charles Mason was the first in that class.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever happened with him? Whatever happened with Charlie Mason? I haven't heard anything from him.
Yeah, someone
did he die young, or did he die in Mexico or something like that as a captain or something like that? Because I don't know that name.
Yeah, I mean that's
I don't know that name.
I mean, you'd expect that person to.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Charles Mason. All right.
Let me copy that real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same over here.
Because I don't know that fellow. I like to know what happened to him.
All right, and again, the man of knowledge himself, the commander Chuck, came up with he was the governor of Virginia after the war.
Okay, so I did guess that right. Okay. Okay.
All right. Commander Gramlin says he did not pursue a career in the military afterwards.
Okay. Then he would have had to gone into some kind of judicial deal.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. He might have just become a bum. I never know. I'll have to look the guy up. That's actually interesting.
All right. Let's see here.
How about we have one more, because we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes now.
All right, great. Let's see here. All right. If anybody else doesn't have another question, all right. Well, Victor has a question. He said, "How many men from the great state of Florida contributed to the Confederate cause and they marched out of the state?"
I'd have to guess, and if I did, I'd probably guess low. But I was going to say, see, that's what gets missed. How many cattle and I don't know. I'd have to spitball a number, and I don't want to do that because I think that would be. I don't know that I've ever heard, but I'd say maybe almost 15, 17,000, something like that.
I think I'm going to go with Commander Chuck with 20,000. James said he became an Iowa judge.
Oh, Charles Mason?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he went into judicial then. Okay.
I'll wait for Victor to respond.
Okay. I was going to say 15, 18,000. I hate to spitball a number. I could be low, but I don't know what makes me think that. Okay.
He said you got it right on the nose, Commander.
Okay. Okay.
He had to show me up for the last question. He just had to.
You know how that goes. Yeah.
Dad said he also ran for governor but was defeated.
Okay.
More you know. I've never heard of that name, so I was very interested. But
Yeah.
As we leave, me and J-Bo are going to be signing off in a second. This is not a question for J-Bo. This is a question for all y'all. List all of Robert E. Lee's nicknames during the war. I want to see if everybody can guess all of them that I found. And that would be our signing off cue. So, J-Bo, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I appreciate all the chat heads. I know I was off here for a little bit, and because I was on a bunch, we talked about that earlier, and really, Connor and Moose and everybody here, they need to run with this. This was their idea when they came to me about this, and I think it's a wonderful thing. I fully support it, and y'all guys, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for taking care of these two young boys. There's a whole lot of effort that goes into this. There's a whole lot of conversation. This isn't an easy thing that gets duct taped together. This takes a lot of work. And then electronics happen and you have to redo everything. So I just want to say thank you to the chat heads for supporting these guys, and thanks guys for the great work y'all are doing on this.
Oh, and again, thank you for your support, Commander. I'm glad you came on tonight, so I wasn't going to be the only one just standing in front of a camera very awkwardly. And again, that's what we would all be doing without you great chat heads that support us, was we'd just be 4 or 5 guys standing in front of a camera every Monday and, just talking nonsense and no one listening. So we thank you guys. Remember, we are at 130,000 people we have reached in total. Let's get that number up. Let's keep breaking down barriers. Let's keep getting more people on the show. Let's keep getting our numbers higher. Let us reclaim the narrative 1 week at a time and get as many people to see the show as possible. So please share the video. And remember to tune in to Look Around the Confederation Thursday at 7. And you can email any news you have to scvyouthOutreach@gmail.com. This week we'll have Commander Green, you see him on the screen, talking about Beauvoir and fall muster. And it'll be a must-see episode, and especially if you're thinking about going to the event, I definitely cannot wait for it. And with that, I guess it's time to say, no fumar in the elevator.
And to quote Adam Southern, stay Southern, my friends, and red or frog.
Red or frog.
Red or frog.